Like, you do get... You're trading 6 key... What? Bad guy. Timeout. What? No, stop right now. Stop it. What the hell are you thinking? My brother in Christ. Baby, what is you doing? It's a holiday weekend. If you're in a different part of the world, good luck at work tomorrow. Well, to be fair, a lot of Americans are probably going to be working too, but yeah. We're going to be looking at some viewer games, chat. We're going to be seeing what the viewers have in store. I know Karst submitted like 85,000 games, so we'll see what Karst has. With the white shirt, with like, if I hunker down a little bit, you can see how scraggly this is. I really need to trim this up. I'll do it one of these days. I just keep avoiding it because I can't properly trim it evenly, and it's been driving me crazy. So we have 12 games in the hopper. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, so, or excuse me, 11 games, so a little over a third are Karsts. So we'll start out with some Karst games. We'll finish with some Karst games. Maybe we'll sprinkle them. Maybe we'll spread them out. We probably will do the whole queue tonight because, as mentioned, it's a holiday weekend, so I don't have to get up as early tomorrow, which reminds me I need to remember turn my alarm off on my phone so that way I don't wake up at the usual time. I would like to sleep in a little bit. We'll see if my body lets me. But before we get into everything, I have to let everybody know I'm, of course, part of the content affiliate program. The Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing Phobies content. And speaking of coffee, if you're interested in playing in some Phobies tournaments, hit up the links in the description for my Discord because we run weekly Phobies tournaments and they have participation coffee, which means you just got to show up and actually play and you get some coffee. Obviously, if you win, you get a little more, but getting that out there. Let's see what we've got, chat. I will say that Karst was complaining about my methodology for the previous viewer games, because I didn't bother to put like game break markers in there because there were only like 4 games and then we just kind of rambled at the end. And that upset some people, including Karst. Not like really, but it was kind of funny. Good God, Urk. Urk living life like you're going to live forever with a 48-turn game. 1-1 Phobies popping off. Let's see. I assume this is going to be a Shove Shark thing. Pinapple, welcome. Urk, what's good? Forgot to mention Mummy, too. Well, I'm sure we'll see it. I'm sure we'll see it. So, chat, I realized I woke up this morning and I'm still riding a little high on my my victory from yesterday. It felt really good. I was talking to my wife about it because winning that tournament was... It's not that I didn't put effort in, because I put in a lot of effort, but I think the big thing is... Congrats, thank you. I think the big thing for me is that I just wanted it so bad. Like, I tend to disagree with anyone who has the pull yourself up by your bootstraps nonsense mentality of, well, the hard work is what makes the thing pay off. And to me, no, it's the thing that is the worthwhile payoff. It's not the hard work. It's not the path to get there. That doesn't make it more memorable or enjoyable. It is absolutely what the thing is. It is the destination, not the journey. I know that's not for everybody, but that's me. So, like, winning it was just really cool. But anyway, in this game, we're looking at Fire Ant versus Cerberus. Okay. I have to imagine we're, like I said, Phantom or Shove Shark. Those are my predictions. But then again, it's a 48-turn game, so maybe this Cerberus is just going to walk its ass all the way across the map. I don't know. What do we got here? I love the sound effects, too. Yep, there's the Shove Shark. Who could have possibly seen this coming? Who's got 2 thumbs, including my Damaged one. I got a splinter, so that was fun to deal with. All right, we're staring at some sentinels here. 4 to 2 panic point advantage. That's a Gonzo. Honestly, I don't know. I guess the Cerberus is okay here because A, a tractor exists. B, the Cerberus should be tanky enough, certainly with this particular setup, to survive everything. I'm not going to lie, Chad. I feel as though the game needs one more anti-trap phobie. Because Tickles is fine. Doom Doom mostly sucks. I feel like they could have another one. That was a good call on the trap placement there. I think the game could do with another one. Alright, so is Urk just going to invade here? Because can't you, like... Okay, hold on. Okay, so there's a world in which you shove the Cerberus up, you move up, you pull the Hevo, you clobber the Hevo. But because of the addition of Goon, that might be enough damage between like Goon, Gonzo, and Fire Ant to kill the Attractor. So maybe this isn't beneficial. All right, we're going north. This will allow for a clip onto... Huh. Alright, cute play. That's cute. I mean, that's a dead Fire Ant. That's pretty good. I didn't think Urk would have the damage, because that was going to be the other play I was going to suggest, but... apparently they have enough damage. I don't know why I... Wait, does Hevo have more... Does Hevo baseline have more HP than Fire Ant? 12... Well, it didn't here. This is 2780. So clearly Urk had the damage. But that was a pretty good pick. We got a little mummy action. Where's Gravedigger? Gravedigger's they're gonna hear the call of the mummy. Look, real talk. The fact that Phantom exists and Attractor exists, and I understand everybody wants some nerf because of lots of reasons. And there's valid arguments for it. I think there's valid arguments to not nerf them, but that's not the point of this sidebar. Things like them should exist, like them, in order to facilitate the Cerberus and Mummy plays. Because otherwise, those Phobies, like... I mean, Mummy's a little bit more general purpose than... Cerberus, just because of the 2 movement, but it just makes it's currently incredibly difficult to get value out of them for obvious reasons. So bad guy has 1 key. Urk is doing their best alien engineer impression. 10 keys still remaining. Panic points are even, so this is probably why, like, here, I guess the game just stalemates from here. Urk is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phobies. They could put something else on the board. And that something else is going to be a Raucous. I guess. I mean, I get it. It can't be teleported. So you can use the choke points. Like, you can move Raucous up and then utilize the choke point to ensure that they can't get anything of value. I know this discussion also comes up because Karst has said the same thing, that it's not simply even panic points, but this absolutely feels like an even panic points problem. Like, if there was a single panic point, and this goes to Karst's idea also, I know I keep bringing up Karst's ideas, but I tend to agree with a lot of them, or I've had similar thoughts in the past, of past a certain number of turns where there hasn't been heart damage, let's say. It could be panic points, it could be hitting the heart, it could be whatever. maybe there needs to be an enrage timer where the game just starts pressuring. I don't think that sort of change will ever happen, but like, I get the sense we're going to be staring at this setup and just rearranging for like the next 15 turns, which is very, very silly. It's panic points plus heartbreaker. I mean, in this case, it's heartbreaker, but it's not just that. Like, you can stalemate on odd panic point maps because people only, like, say it's a 3 panic point small map. Blue claims one, orange claims the other, and then nothing changes. And even here, like, if you're going by heart damage is going to be done and now resetting the timer in this scenario because that bachelor came in. And, like, there's no easy way to fix this. The answer is map design. The map has to be built in such a way that you cannot stall it out in a trivial fashion, which is what I think happens on a lot of the older maps. It does happen on newer maps, but I think the team has mostly gotten better at it. Bad guy picking up on the goon play here. This was an oopsie from me, Ripcorn. I mean, it frees up your other 6 keys. It's arguably not a bad play. Is this an error from Bad Guy? Like, is there a way to do anything here? Probably not, right? Yeah, because you can get a pull, but you can't actually connect with anything. I forgot that stim existed. I remember a challenge game. I feel like it was Master Dark. I'm not sure. But whoever it was challenged me on this map, viewer challenge, and all I wanted to do was goon off that stim. And they ended up winning because it was like, I sacrificed so much to make it happen. And then they're like, oh, see, whatever they were doing is so good. And I'm like, no, it's because all I wanted, like, I focused the entire game on getting goon onto that stim and blobbing you. Like, that was the only thing that mattered. Get a little mini-me action. That's a very ancient fire ant trap. What are you gonna do? That's a cooked attractor. That was a cringe trap. Oh, you're playing this so safe. I feel like you... Is Gonzo down? Gonzo's down, right? No, Gonzo's back up. Oh, okay. This is now very awkward. This is very awkward. And Goon being extra cringe, having such a short cooldown. I don't think Goon would be very good if it had a longer cooldown. Like, I think even if it went up one more turn, Goon would not be very good. Honestly, the, I've talked about it before, but the Bloms, I think, should be encouraged, that sort of effect, because it requires so much board manipulation, and it cares so much about the board, as compared to the Akiras and the Attractors and the Phantoms of the world. I mean, a Phantom kind of cares, but it's such a humongous arc that, like, it trivializes the board. Goon, Puff, Beauty, Blasto, they all care very much about the board and your positioning. Without Attractor, it's hard to make Cerberus work. I mean, that's my point, is that Phobies like Cerberus and some of these other ones really need the support, and it feels weird to justify the current state of, say, Attractor, but or Phantom, maybe it's a necessary evil? I have to assume this is bait. Why else would you do this? Is this glob dead? You saw this coming, but, like, do you even have enough damage to do anything? Because that Cerberus is, like, eons away from the fight. Now, the Goon is damaged, I guess. Alright, so we boop the mini-me. 650 damage off this mini-me, by the way. I wonder, I don't remember if the devs gave me the artwork for mini-me. I mean, our hero here is building their own undead army. For what that's worth. I'll be honest, it doesn't feel like bad guy's in a terrible position. They have time. I don't think this is enough damage. Like, Mummy is somewhat tanky. I'd be surprised if it dies here. And in fact, it does not. I think bad guy's just surrendering at this point. Ooh, whoop, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, the double kill. You love to see it. Or hopefully you saw most of it because I accidentally hit a button. I was fixing my mouse and I hit the back button on my mouse. This is very well played by Urk, to be honest. Aside from the whole Phantom / Shove Shark / Attractor discussion with the 1/1s, it is interesting to look at this game and say it's a 48-turn game. That's a long game. Like that's almost 2 full games on most other maps. And I'm unsure as to whether it's problematic to have this sort of game because, like... And this wasn't somebody unnecessarily dragging the game out. It just turned out this was a very complex board state. And given the phobies that were chosen, it kind of required certain hoops to be jumped through. So if that... I don't know how I feel about it. It's fine that these sort of games happen. It's just that this always comes back to the weird dichotomy with how Phobies is a mobile game that really isn't a mobile game. Like a mobile game, you would think at most the game takes 5 minutes, right? You play a phone game, it should last 5 minutes, regardless. Like you play Hearthstone, it could be 30 seconds. Well, probably should only be like a minute, but you get the idea. It shouldn't be, generally shouldn't, air quotes, be longer than 5 minutes. This game clearly took longer than 5 minutes. And I'm not sure how detrimental that is for Phobies, but that's a different discussion. GG. All right, Karst submitted a significantly shorter game on center stage. Full Undead plus Shove Shark versus Russell, trying to show that Undead are not weaker than other factions. Okay, so I'm going to say this at the start before we look at the game, because then I don't want it to be, like, influenced by what we say. I think that arguably Undead is the weakest of the 4. But we'd have to come up with some metrics to determine that. Because, like, you could easily say, oh, well, this phobia is very powerful, or that phobia is very powerful. So are we just going by quantity? Are we going by breadth of abilities? Because then, like, having Jeeves, there's no other freeze traps. There are freeze phobies, but there are no other freeze traps. 3 Rangers, there's only, you know, there's Chuck and then the Sentinel, so... And he's the only, well, aside from Jar, he is the largest, for sure, free-range lob. There's a lot of factors, so I'm not sure when people say that a type of phobia is better or worse, what they're basing it on. Overall, I would probably say Undead are the quote-unquote worst. They seem to show up the least. But... It's always funny when Karst submits this stuff because it's like, Karst is, especially on ladder, Karst is higher leveled with a wider collection, and certainly much better than most people. So the question is, how much is Karst winning because it is Karst? Versus, like, would Karst win with anything is the point. Like, does Karst winning prove that undead are not weak, or does it prove that Karst is better than their opponent? Is kind of where I'm going with it. We'll see. Undeads are only mostly bad because Leech is not that relevant on most undeads. Goon, Cerberus, Erratic, and Mummy are good examples of good undeads because Leech matters. I'm not sure Cerberus or Mummy are going to qualify as good. I agree they are good in the sense that their life leech is more relevant. But I think Goon, the life leech, is relevant because you can hit multiple phobies. Like, I think if there were more undead that had some kind of multi-hit, it doesn't have to be an AoE, like a splash AoE. It could be similar to Erratic's Chain Lightning, just with different theming kind of thing. Or maybe it leaps to, say, like, whatever. Like, it hits this and then hits the next lowest health phobie, no matter where it is on the board. Or not the next lowest, but like the lowest or something like that. Because then it makes them tankier. But for the most part, they do have seemingly lower damage output and lower health pound for pound. I'd have to like sit and do the math. Maybe that's not true. But I think this is a good map to try this on, what Karst is suggesting, because this is a Gravedigger map, right? Like, so you clearly want Gravedigger. It's not going to look abnormal out of the gate. But I know Karst had submitted multiple all-undead games, so we'll see what the other ones bring, too. This is kind of cute. Is this even good, though? Like, the jar lives. It is kind of annoying because now the jar is vulnerable. But, like, you can back the jar up literally one space. No, wait, you can't. Oh, is Karst going to bait them with this? Wait, why did... What? Okay, they backed it up all the way. I was about to say. They're very generic units, so it doesn't hurt having Cerberus around them. Wait, Cerberus is very good despite having to rely on a Tractor and Shove Shark. I don't think I would put Cerberus in the very good category. I think Cerberus is very much in the, I guess it's acceptable category for me. Like, to me, Cerberus is a niche player, which is absolutely fine. But it is not something, to me, when you're saying that it's quote-unquote very good, I would put that as a phobie that, like, you'd want to use all the time. Something can be very good at a roll, but that doesn't mean it's going to show up in every game. So I think this comes down to the same thing as what I was starting out with at the beginning of this game, of, like, figuring out what are we saying defines a good or bad phobie. Karst with the pick here. I didn't double check the cooldown on Shove Shark. I was checking the Gravedigger because I thought there was going to be a different line that was going to happen. But Flesh Crawler. This is a feels bad man moment. Honestly, like, this isn't a bad call, the Russell. This is a level 11 Russell. However, I don't know. Like, this is 1,200... 1,300 damage. It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. Also, Karst cheating. I see you, Karst. You're a liar. You're a filthy liar. That's a cowbell. That the last time I checked, that's not green. That guy's blue. You should be ashamed of yourself. Appalled. Did you even... What was your one key? You didn't even use Contortio yet. Like, look, I can accept the Shove Shark, but the cowbell has crossed a line that is just unforgivable at this point. So here's the other thing about Russell. Are we sure your green is the same as my green? No, we're not going down that road. We're not doing that. One other thing about Russell here is like, on top of all the limitations that Russell has, it is challenging for Russell to have the impact that it needs on a small map. I mean, I guess it's gotten enough value here, but like there just isn't a lot of time to both bank up for Russell and then also let it tick, because there's just not a lot of time. Dude, what level is this? Like, okay, the Russell is a low level, but the poison has gone off once. It hit it with Russell, it hit it with Gravedigger, it hit it with Snowball, and it still didn't outright kill it. Unbearable's pretty tanky. Man, I got the hiccups. Not the hiccups, just like... disruption, we'll call it. That's in fact a dead, Droney. Are we gonna get the long-range tentacles? Nope, we're gonna lick the cat. That feels like we're not going there. Get a heal on Shove Shark. Is Gravedigger gonna... Gravedigger's probably gonna tank this. It's kind of surprising. I spam it every... Hold on, chat. There's a freaking gnat. I spam it every week. It's been working out. I'll submit more Serb games for the following weeks. Like, don't get me wrong. Oh, look. First of all, the sheep needed to come out sooner. This is hilarious. There's just literally not enough damage here to get this. This is funny. Karst doing side quests at this point, honestly, kind of. So what did we see? I mean, we obviously, another shameful departure from the mono undead plan. Shameful, but that's neither here nor there at this point. That's not what I'm concerned about. Creep is fine. Unbearable is... I think Unbearable's probably subpar. Gravedigger's obviously fine. Murderwing, fine. Fleshcrawler is a big WTF. Now, I understand why Karst was doing these things. Don't get me wrong. But the reason why I'm calling attention to this is, like, how many undead are we looking at that are quote-unquote bad? And what ones get used? The fact that you needed Muffin here? Yeah, I mean, look, Karst was clearly going for the pseudo mono undead challenge, but, like, it's fine. Clearly, the majority of the game was addressed by undead. You know what I mean? Like, we're not looking at this game and going, "Oh my god, you're playing all undeads," except there's one undead. It's like it's mostly undead, and it's fine. Tentacles! Got him. GG. So, I think bad guy fell into a bunch of shove shark traps, or at least a couple. I don't think the Russell was terrible. It was definitely risky because of the temporal component. I don't think the Russell was bad, but I don't think bad guy really had a game plan to support it. It's interesting. I still think Center Stage sucks, but definitely something to learn from. Like, we talk about it all the time, and every time somebody complains about, like, oh, well, I lost the levels, or it's impossible to do this, you can't possibly do that, there's no way that this could happen, and it's like, look, there's tons of examples. However, the existence of a counterexample doesn't necessarily invalidate the argument. And this is why I started out the last game with trying to determine, okay, well, is Karst winning because all of these things are quote-unquote equal, or is Karst just that far above skill-wise of other players? And then the question becomes, is that still acceptable? Because telling people, hey, get good can be a valid argument, but that doesn't mean that it's a reasonable one to present to people. So, it just kind of depends. But next up, we got pvzfurmade Phantom versus Phantom action that was overall goofy with a goofy ending. Well, we're on Diabolical, so it's already starting out goofy. I feel like in addition to that gnat, there must be a mosquito in here. Or maybe it's like, I don't know if anybody else gets this, but like, I get this all the time where it's like, oh, I saw a bug. So then I constantly feel like there's a bug crawling on my leg or something. You know, like for some amount of time afterwards, psychologically, it feels like there's one there. It's like, I've had a spider, like, run across my foot. Or, you know, I was like sitting at my desk and I'm doing something, and then like one runs across my hand or something because it was like hiding on the desk or whatever. And then for the rest of the day, I'm feeling a spider on me. Like, I'll feel it on my back. I'll feel it on my leg. I'll think there's one under my hat. Like, it's bad. It's just messing, like, the spider's living rent-free in my head all day, every day. All right, so our hero here out to a early lead, 4-3 panic point advantage. The cartoony, no, it's like one of those where like the cartoon, you take the hat off and then you go to scratch your head, but you're scratching the spider and then the spider is scratching your head. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those. Hercules, okay, so I think it was PVZ talking about Hercules, because the discussion naturally recently has been about Phantom, right? And the suggestion, and I don't necessarily disagree with it, is that are we so worried about Phantom that we're ignoring other broken phobies? And one of the examples was Hercules. Now, I'll be honest, I don't even know if Hercules is even good. I see it so rarely, but I'd be very curious if this phobie is actually a problem. And then you feel the satisfaction of a scratch despite not scratching yourself. Yeah. Do we get a Charon coming out? I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I'm telling you, Charon has some of the coolest animations in the game. In a game full of spectacular animations and art, Charon has some of the best, which is that, like, that's saying something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phobies to 6. Probably both players are going to bank, I'd imagine. I kind of see the Charon just pooping on this tile. Unless the cowbell's going to go in. So I don't really love this out of Bad Guy. We talk a lot about one keys, but like, our hero's just going to kill this thing and then replace, right? Actually, they can't. Not without exposing something. Unless this can one-shot it, which is just like, there's no way. I love that it hits the spider up here. Okay, so we're going to kill and we're going to replace with Droney? I guess. We're going to summon the Blasto immediately. Feels like you can easily farm chip damage with Hercules. Yeah, probably. I mean, like, you did some amount of damage. Like, I mean... It's a very, very small amount of damage, but, like, it's not... I don't know how much it matters here. And there is the counter Phantom. As somebody said in one of my YouTube comments, shout out to YouTube comments. Well, some of them anyway. Somebody said that they feel the only appropriate counter to Phantom is Phantom, and, like, I can't really argue with that. You have the cooldown is short, so you can AoE every chance you get. You can, but you still have to expose it. It's not like... You can't just do it completely safely, and it doesn't have... If I recall correctly, it isn't quite, like... out of line HP. Like, I think it has arguably low HP for its key cost, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on it, because, like, I'd have to go look. Ain't nobody got time for that. Really, as a streamer, I should make time for that, but I just don't want to. What I should do is take that spreadsheet, which I don't even know if they're updating it anymore, they being the devs. By the way, bad sheep. I don't care about the erratic. Shove Shark! I should take the spreadsheet that they had, assuming that it's continually being updated, that has all the phobia values in it, and do the calculation and be like, okay, here's the average, and then here are the ones, and then, you know, just like highlight the spreadsheet based on, these are the ones that are above average, these are the ones that are below average, these are the ones that are this, these are the ones that are that, and this is a terrible play from bad guy if, like you do get, you're trading 6 key, what? Bad guy, timeout, what? No, stop right now, stop it. What the hell are you thinking? My brother in Christ. Baby, what is you doing? There is no world in which this ends well for you. I can't even conceive of a reality where this ends well for bad guy. That's a stemmed bomb. That alone is insane. So, like, okay, dead spider. Squash the spider. More bees! Yep. Boop. Bees! You have to get different pitches, because there's different sets of bees. We get the body block from Tickles, so we're already key positive. Cooldowns are down here, but bad guy, they have 9 keys, but, like, they have almost no damage on the board right now. Dude, you traded the Phantoms. Oh my god. I mean, it would have died anyway, so, like... I'd say bro woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning, but it looks like bro woke up on the floor this morning. Yeah, he had a bad night. My guy had a bad night. That's like not a trade you want to make. Here's the thing. There are queens in Phobies, but there are also what I'm going to call coffin nail Phobies, where, like, they hit the board, and if you are not in a position to deal with them right then, like, you have to have, you're out of keys, now this thing is on the board, you have to use all of your resources to eliminate it, or you will never kill it. Blasto is one of those Phobies, where, like, this thing has 1 billion HP. You're never going to kill it now. Like, look at this. Just gonna brutalize bad guy's team here. I do like, this is a heads-up play from PvZ to boop the Blasto. It feels like, well, why did they do that? But this means that the Klepto can't splash onto it. Has a 1 billion HP, electrical, and AoE damage along with the bomb. Yep. It's got a lot of cool stuff going for it. Admittedly, it's down a little bit below half health. And bad guy's not allowing the bomb because he hates fun. But now you have a Blasto targeting your heart. How low is this Gravedigger? That Gravedigger's actually got some time. Like, bad guy, you need to beat feet to defend, and, like, you don't have the damage. You just don't. $896 damage. Admittedly, not the largest stim damage we've seen, but that's still it's a significant amount. So now our hero has the option to either go face or kill the Phobies. We'll see what they choose to do. They're going face. I guess they probably could not have killed the Phobies, because, like, the Klepto would have been a problem. But now we're looking at a heart remaining... Wait, did I ever read the notes for this game? Yeah, I did. It was the Phantom versus Phantom. 876. So bad guy is able to kill the Blasto, but probably because our hero wasn't busy killing the non-heart things. Blasto goes down, but Gravedigger, they got diseased like 45 turns ago. Looking like a Nurgle demon over here. GG. GG. Well played, PvZ. PvZ's kind of got this thing for Blasto lately. But you take those W's. A win is a win. Pinapple. Pinapple's next. Pinapple, in chat earlier. Shout out to our Twitch stream chat. Link for that in the description. What do we got? 19-turn game. Just a simple Mount Blight game with Furnace Face. There's no simple game with a Furnace Face. I mean, Blasto is cool. Is it, though? I'll be honest. When Goon came out, I forgot Blasto existed. 5 minutes until seasonal pack. Maybe next season I'll actually play some games. I literally played 0 games this season. I haven't played a game of Phobies in a very long time. I threw 28 games today for gold. Oh, God. Don't do that. Don't do that. Honestly, chat, I enjoy watching Phobies. I enjoy doing this stuff. So, like, I do want to play Phobies, but if I don't, I'm still getting my... Wait, timeout. Okay. This has got to be Undead Event, right? Got to be Undead Event. Last season it was Giggles. Hopefully I don't get as disappointed as today. Giggles is fine. Giggles isn't great, but Giggles is fine. I'm not saying this is you, Urk, but, like, there's a lot of people who I think just have exceptionally extreme opinions about Phobies. In general, I mean, not like the game. I'm talking like individual Phobies. And they kind of get hung up on, oh, well, this isn't the phobie that I wanted, or this isn't one of the meta phobies, so I don't care about it. But, I mean, that's the whole point of what Karst is doing, is proving that you don't have to follow those game plans. Also, by the way, double germ strat and an enormous blue panic point advantage. Not for long, clearly. Either my wife is making popcorn or I'm having a stroke right now, chat. I don't know. Every phobia has its moment. Well, the thing is that I think it goes beyond that. Yes, a lot of phobies are niche role players. Like, they have a certain scenario that they want to be utilized in, and that's where they excel. But for the most part, a lot of them can be used rather generically. I just don't think Giggles is very fun or good. I think Giggles is really fun, personally. I think from an aesthetic perspective, he just dwarfs Bomangles. I think the voice or sound effects on Giggles are way better, so that's part of the reason why I think he's fun. But even putting that aside, the high damage output can be important. Like, Giggles represents an enormous amount of damage. I'm not gonna lie here, Pinapple. I don't know if bad guys throwing this game. I kind of feel like they are, because they've offered up a number of phobies that, like... Well, maybe not a number. I guess it's even right now, but they're offering up both the Snaky and the Murder Wing here. 25 damage. Wait, does Giggles really do more damage than Dozer? I haven't looked at that. This is why I need to do the math on that spreadsheet. Furnace Phase. It does more damage than Dozer. That's actually kind of bonkers if you think about it. That's actually pretty bonkers. For literally half the key cost, you get 25 more damage. The heebie-jeebies terrible special. Giggle sucks to fight. Yeah, I can see it. The big thing with Giggles is that you feel like you want to use it on a small map, but the problem is that that 4 cost really makes things weird. Like, there's a ton of other 4 costs you'd rather use. I don't know why you broke this block. What are we doing here? Just to free up the sight line? I guess that's fine. Yeah, alright, that's fair, that's fair. I should give it a try, I just need levels. The classic problem. So I have been considering running an async league. I think I'm gonna... Because I know Karst has expressed interest, and there's a number of other players that want an async league. I think I'm willing to try it, and we're just going to set up ground rules, and then I'm just going to have to be very harsh with penalties if people are being dicks. So that might give people a chance to try and experiment as well with different stuff. I don't think I will do any kind of, like, tournament coverage for it, because it'll be too much. Like, I don't even know how I would do it, because we wouldn't be able to watch the games for a month, but... Like, it's entirely possible a bunch of the games break by the time I'm able to watch them, so... 1, 2... We get the furnace face, but nothing yet. Okay, for a second, I thought Bad Guy was going to let that Jin Sting live, just because, like, the delay was just, like, a fraction of a second too long, and I'm thinking, what are you doing, Bad Guy? Rock is teaching Numbskull the art of the AoE attack. The notes for this game were kind of, I didn't really know what to put there. Wait, is there, like, a competition for people on what, for the best game notes? We have gotten some weird ones. I mean, I'm not going to go back and look, but, like, I should, going forward, try and keep track of what the best ones are. Bad Guy doesn't even bother trying to hit the furnace face. That's actually comical. I presume the fetch was for event points, because, like, why else would you do that right now? I love the way the animation lined up with the attack there, because part of Furnace Face's idol is that he's just sitting there, like, picking his ear. Like one of the smokestacks. But he was mid-doing that when Bad Side just slapped the snot out of him, and he's like, oh, God, I gotta stop. I need to actually pay attention. It was really funny to me. These are the things that amuse me. We get a flesh crawler because event, I guess. Our hero is in control of all but one panic point. Bad Guy's not long for this world. 1350, that's a lot of damage. Tentacles. Really sad, it's only on one target. Do you think that... Hold on. Do you think these... We're going to rewatch the animation just because I want to. The flesh crawler animation, do you think that is just... Like, are those little tentacles on the ground, or are they supposed to be worms? Because to me, even if they're supposed to be little tentacles, I'm thinking worms. I'm thinking worms. Because you could actually see one, like, sort of jump out of the ground. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Bad guys obviously cook. GG. So I thought of something that I should have said earlier for Karst. Maybe I should hold this for later, but GG, Pinapple. We all want to compare Phobies to chess, right? Like, it's kind of a natural comparison, and I presume that the devs at some point sat down and said, what if we make chess, but spooky? I'm sure that came up at some point, or some derivative of that. But with respect to Karst's suggestions, and I don't know if Karst is going to make it this far, so Karst, if you made it this far, let me know if you actually heard this comment or not. I don't think Karst winning with all undead, or even bad Phobies proves really anything. Well, it can prove something, but certainly not the points that I think Karst is trying to make. Maybe he is, I'm not sure. But the reason I say that is, like, a pawn in chess is worse than a queen, right? Or you could make an argument, oh, well, a pawn could be any piece. So, all right, let's take a different one. A rook is worse than a queen, right? It just literally can do less things than a queen. It is objectively worse. The fact that you can make a really cool play or win completely predicated on the usage of your rook has no bearing on the relationship between the rook and the queen as to power levels. You can beat the better piece, but that doesn't mean that that piece is not still better, which is a good thing for the game, because that means that the pilot is the determining factor. The player is what's driving the difference in outcome, and that's what you want. Well, I guess depending on what your game model is, but to me, that's what I want. I want the player decisions, the player agency to be the pinnacle. Excuse me. All right, 24-turn game on Opticon. Our hero here is Dama. I know we looked at, well, it was a Monster of the Week game between Dama and PvZ, but I don't think Dama submitted a game through this previously. But the notes are pretty close and a massive gap between levels win. I didn't notice the level gap, but we'll see how it goes. See how this goes. I guess we can just do this. I didn't see what the stress levels were, is what I'm saying. So level 13 versus level 8. Yeah, I would say a 5-level gap is significant. Why won't it let me click on the goddamn cat? 5-level gap. Kind of big. Kind of a big deal. Chad, I got 2 potential deliveries coming in this week. And I realize I'm probably not going to get them until next week because of the holiday, which is disappointing. I ordered some new toys. I'm excited about them. Well, I had them ordered from a while back, and then the pre-orders dropped, finally. I'm like, oh, I need this now. I needed this yesterday. Let's ship that pile of loot. Right meow. Get that going, right meow. And then the other one is a bunch of cards. So I'm excited about both. We'll see when they show up. Oh my god, why the jackalopes? I know Dama has indicated before that they have a smaller collection. Obviously a newer player, level 8 Phobies. We're not talking about somebody who's been around since the beginning of the game. Or at least certainly not playing since then. This is a 4-key takedown there. I mean, this is what happens when you're down levels. What are we looking at? Snowball. This probably comes out in our hero's favor because not only did you pick off Snowball, which is an important asset, you're probably going to get both the Cassowary and the Contortio, or at least it's not unlikely. We'll see what they choose to go for. Bees. Alright, so it's only a pick on the Cassowary, but this does set up a later kill on the Murder Wing and softens up the Contortio. If a bad guy tries to be cute and be aggressive about this, they're going to be in a bad spot. Hilariously, the Murder Wing lives, but that now ensures its own demise. Is this a dead stabby? Like, these trades are fine. These trades are fine for our hero because all of these things are going to end up dead. Bees was already used, so you're not going to be able to, like, do something cute to snipe the jar. But you get the Contortio, you're going to get the Murder Wing for sure. You quite possibly get the Creep. No, probably not. Yeah, the Creep is still pretty healthy, but you're incrementally generating value. Ah, no problem, Pinapple. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. I don't love this, though. Like, why did you offer up the Kerbloom? That's just seems like a mistake. I mean, I guess you could argue it's bait for the Creep, but, like, Alright, bad guy is feeling like they got this game in the bag, I presume. That's a foul. Pterodactyl's going to secure the kill. I don't love the Ginsting positioning. We'll see if it stays there. The reason is that bad guy could hypothetically foul safely. You'll get 2 hits from the Ginsting, 2 from the jar, and 1 from the Pterodactyl, hypothetically. Maybe bad guy was fearing a snowball out of our hero, but I don't think they're high enough stress level to have that. I could be incorrect on that, I'm not sure. So this one's got to be bait. Trying to draw that foul in. That'll be a good pickup. We're going to disease the Pterodactyl. Honestly, I'm generally okay with disease or poison landing on Resurrect Phobies. Because then it just makes your opponent's life... Like, yes, it helps kill them. And obviously, if they're hovering around Resurrect health, they're not in great shape. But I feel like you'd generally rather it land on that than something that's actually going to die. This has got to be a dead foul, right? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what bad guy's plan is for a lot of this. Why didn't you meatball? I guess you can kill it with that, but like, couldn't you have just meatballed it? The Murder Wing's gonna die. Maybe the math didn't work out. Alright. Yeah, bad guy, I don't know if this was overconfidence or what, but they are just sacrificing phobies left and right, and this is what you need to do when you're under leveled, is draw your opponent into these situations where they will offer up phobies and allow you to get key positive. You take enough positive trades and all of a sudden you're going to be ahead. I mean, our hero has 5 keys left, bad guy with 0. I'm not sure how our hero is going to deal with high 5 just yet, but they do have a board that can interact, so... Alright, we take the pick here on the jar. I don't know if I love that, but at the same time, there isn't a great way for bad guy to kill it, because you probably need both high 5 and the Klepto, and the numbskull is just a terrible idea. I guess the numbskull was for event points. Oh, never mind. They can just kill it with the high 5. Metabot, huh? Okay. And that's a lot of blue phobies, not a lot of orange ones. Bad guy gonna try the race plan. Is that not an occupiable space? Do they have to go there? I think the space is not actually a space. Yeah, it's not an actual space. Never mind. Oddly enough, the AoE on Chuck could be detrimental here. Okay, we're going to hit it with the Klepto to ensure that bad guy played around it so they didn't get pulled out of position with the high five. Yeah, this one's coming down to the wire. I think I would have targeted down the high five. Or tried to. I don't think you kill it this turn. But every bit of damage helps. $175 health. One of the tighter games we've seen. Well played by Dama. Yeah, this is very much, like I said, how you draw people into these sort of victories. Is you gotta get, when you're under-leveled, you gotta get them to overcommit. And then just take advantage of what they give you. It's a very well played. GG. Alright, chat. I'm going to take a quick break. I will be right back. We'll have to take another one in a minute. Looks like the season rolled over, so we're going to put a random game on. I don't know who these people are, so we're just going to put one on. I'll be right back. Don't go away. Alright, chat. We're back. Let's get back into some viewer games. What's next on the docket? Let's see here. Got an Onda game. What year is this? What year is this? Onda and Mini. Coin to me. Welcome back, Onda. Susquatch. That's not how you spell that. Let's see what shenanigans happen here. We don't get too many Sasquatch games. We've honestly seen way more Creepy Devil, which I'm not surprised by, but we'll have to see. So what do we got going on here onto the opening Hevo? Bold move there, Cotton. Or is it? What kind of robot is Cowbell supposed to be? And what is its function? Alright, so out of bad guy, we're looking at somewhat standard. Like, this is fine. There's nothing unreasonable about this. Onda's response as player 2, also pretty reasonable. Oh, we get a little werewolf action. I was going to question the Hevo positioning, but with the addition of werewolf, this definitely makes sense. So panic point advantage, bad guy. Neither player has deployed a terraformer. Do get some bees going on here. Just trying to see what could happen next turn. Oh, excuse me. I'm wiped out from yesterday, chat. Like, my body's kind of messed up because I didn't eat for so long, so, like, it then messed with my sleep cycle, and then now I'm recovering from that. It's a mess. It's a mess. So we just trade shots here. Snowball action, we get the duo puppy plan. Ironically, next to the dogbone headstone. You know what's funny is these, I think, are supposed to be spider legs on this mausoleum-looking thing. But there's only 6. How many insects do we have? It's Wiggy, Maggie. I'm struggling to think of the other insects. Like, we have several spiders, but spiders and arachnids notably have 8 legs, not 6. I wonder if it's intended to be that, or is it supposed to be like a weird 6-fingered hand with like 2 sets of opposable digits? You know what I mean? You never know with this stuff. Never know with this kind of stuff. Alright, trying to check stuff on Twitch at simultaneously, chat. That's why the sound keeps cutting out. I have asked the devs to see, like, if they could change it so that... This is a bold move. Could you not have hit... Like, could the snowball not have gone somewhere else? Maybe they didn't want it to die? I wasn't really paying attention to the pre-positioning, but we get the noxious follow-up, little rock lobster action, all up in bad guy's face. But, I mean, Cupcake is right there. Bad guy with no fear going for it, going for the noxious. You can boop here after you do all the things. Boop. Is this a good trade for Onda? Because the werewolf should wear off this turn. The Clopster takedown. We're not going to send in the snowball. This allows the werewolf to retreat. Okay, real talk. Why is there a Temptress here? Like, Onda, are you truly sure about this? Diseased Muffins. Who are we going to heal? Presumably Hevo, because I don't think there's enough damage here to actually kill Hevo. Attractor is the follow-up for Bad Guy. I don't know. Bad Guy just not interested in doing a lot of damage this turn at all. The counter Muffin. I mean, what are we looking at? Speaking of spiders. You'd imagine something looking like that dropping down off the ceiling onto you. Stuff of nightmares. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6. So Onda actually came out ahead here, I guess because Bad Guy could not secure the kill on either Snowball or the Hevo, only able to take down the Noxious. As expected, Hevo heal. There is the aforementioned. Messed that one up a little bit. Sasquatch. What's his ability? Is his ability to name Now You See Me? Yep. Get a little invisibility action going. We're gonna get the yoink. Big ol' poison coming in. Are we sure about this? Really? I don't know about this one, Bad Guy. This seems suspect. And the Attractor's just dead, right? I mean, maybe the math doesn't work out, but I feel like the Attractor's just dead. Oh my god. Oh, we're gonna snipe here. Does the tractor die? I knew the attractor was dead, but like... I didn't think about the AoE on Temptress. So, this game's pretty much over. Yo, the Shove Shark Invisible Phobie play is actually kind of cool. That's a cool idea. This werewolf feeling like a, not spectacular investment, I'm not gonna lie. Bad guy out of keys and almost out of time. Boop! That's gotta look so weird from the other side. Takedown 1. Cooking the Hevo, setting up takedown number 2. Brutal turn from Onda here. Brutal turn from Onda. That's gotta look super weird on the counter. Like the, or from the other side, like the Shove Shark Sasquatch setup. Those are, in fact, some dead Phobies. I don't think I've ever seen the Sasquatch attack animation. Or maybe I have, but I certainly didn't remember it. GG, Onda, well played. Pretty cool setup. Pretty cool setup. I do think the invisible Phobies are underutilized. It's another thing that, like... It's kind of like bombs to me. I feel as though we need more of those sort of things. The problem is, for the invisible ones, they do have a high potential for frustration. But I think there's a lot of cool stuff that's still available that either doesn't exist or needs to be expanded on, as opposed to the Phantoms and Akiras of the world. But maybe that's just me. But in the meantime, we got noobsim here on Phobos, Heart Rushing the Heart Rusher. Sounds like your average Phobos game. Sounds like Phobos to me. That's a Jaws. Eating an AWOL. Fair enough. A clean 800 damage. You love to see it. It feels nice when it's a nice round number like that. Bad side, huh? I mean, I guess you're kind of in position, and then if you get an undead turret onto the stem in the center, that's pretty good. Alright, bad guy going with the all-in on the undead doggo plan. Cook and fetch a little bit. Or, Jaws, rather. Yeah, we're breaking the obstacle here. This is a common defensive play, giving you some more support on the heart. Alright, no Heart Rush plan just yet, but we are seeing the Wiggy follow-up. Definitely makes sense. I kind of wish that Jaws healed a little bit when you ate something. I think that might be good. I mean, it would obviously be good, but, like, I think it might be beneficial for the, as far as making it see more play. Would that be too good, though? It would obviously depend on the heal, but... I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? It's kind of video gamey thing. You eat something, so you heal. Both players mostly sticking to the undead event, but we got a Heartbreaker here. Neither player really able to control the center. I mean, I guess you could say noobsim has control of it, but they don't literally have somebody on the stem. Okay. Cerberus. Yeah, this is an event game. I don't know what else to say. And aside from the Karst game that we were looking at earlier, these ones seem to generally be won by who breaks the all undead plan more or first. And we do have a Heartbreaker, so I'm going to go with noobsim on this one over there. Kill number 1. Why did that happen? I guess then Daisy can more easily target that panic point, but like, is that really important? The push on the Cerberus is actually super obnoxious. This should be a dead fetch, but you're going to trade Cerberus for it, which kind of sucks. So I'm a little confused as to what point bad guy would be considered a heart rusher. Because, like, they didn't control the panic points at any point. The Jaws kind of sort of threatened heart, I guess, for, like, a turn? Unless our hero has played this person multiple times and knew that that's their general game plan. On this map, anyway. Or maybe in general, who knows. Six keys to 0. I mean, our hero doesn't have spectacular board position here. But that is a dead Blinky, and the Rambo does present some challenges for both Foul and Cerberus. Mostly Cerberus, but both of them are going to be a problem. And you have the Heartbreaker for displacement as well. Should be back online any turn now. Panic point advantage, bad guy, but... It's not live yet? Wow, it's still not back. Get the block here, that's actually kind of cute. That's kind of cute. And that's a Rambo in your face. The Cerberus is just kind of like stranded in the middle of nowhere. Foul is dead because it's going to get Heartbreakered. I mean, you could do the Cerberus as well, but the Cerberus is now yet another turn away from hitting Heart, so I would go for the Foul right now personally, but yep. Are we going to trap the Daisy? We imprison the Daisy. But yep, bad guy. It's officially checkmate. You are out of feasible moves. Wow, you don't even kill the Rambo. Lol. 55 health. We don't need to do this! So unnecessary. But a W all the same. GG. Alright, let's see what we got next, chat. Jeremy. Oh my god, with these long-ass games. We're not going to Resident Sleeper this one. We're going to be wide awake for a 45-turn game from our hero here, Jeremy. Turns out silly endgames can be fun if you don't have to worry about a corn that died 20 turns ago. I'm not going to lie, I don't understand how to... I don't know how to interpret those notes. I'm not sure if the idea is that you do have to care about the corn, or... I don't know. We'll see. I still kind of feel like traps are one of the worst mechanics in the game. It definitely feels like it should be in the game, but at the same time, I wonder if, say you kill the trap phobie, should it reveal all their traps? It would obviously be better for the non-trap player. It would add an additional liability to the trap phobia itself, because then you don't want it to die to reveal the traps, but maybe it's not a good idea. I don't know. I just personally hate traps. Little Bone Mangles themed destruction on this Henrietta. Mm-hmm. Little heebie-jeebie special down in the south. We're getting a crush more. So double terraform from bad guy. That's actually interesting. I don't think it's unreasonable. Mildred. All right. Bad guy definitely crapping their pants at this point. Just, they don't know how to deal with this right now. Bank it up to 8. Are we getting a counter Russell? Now, our hero is maxed out, so technically, maybe not technically, but I think the correct choice probably is Firkin. Bad guy notably also would have an additional spot open, so you could Firkin plus something else. Because since our hero's maxed out, they can't supplement their team in a meaningful way, or at all. So you could Firkin to try and keep the Mildred offline for a while. Yeah, Bad Sheep would be just a touch out of range here. If it had gone as far as it could movement-wise. Yeah, our hero was trying to bait the Mildred in. Really? Mildred Blondie? Alright, we're just going with all the Shove Shark targets, I guess. So why not? Why not? Bad guy answers with a Shove Shark of their own. The Blondie is just fascinating to me. But this kind of goes to the earlier discussion when we were talking about that Opticon game and it was 3-3 panic points and even panic points versus odd. This is an example of one of the games where you can have odd panic points and it doesn't matter. Because nobody's claimed the center, so therefore no one's ever going to claim the center. Well, never, but you get the idea. But our hero is able to zone out bad guy with this enormous front of bow mangles and Blondie. And bad guy not being in position to ever really chip the Hydra down. What is happening? Oh, you're going to break it here? So you go there, you go there. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, we're not going to go for it. I thought we were going to see the Mildred go down onto the Innocuous. So this does allow for a double poison to happen, both on the Mildred and the Gravedigger. This is a level 16 bad sheep. This is level 13? So bad guy's probably feeling pretty good. They're like, yeah, I've done the thing. This is what I wanted to do. We're going to get the snipe on the Innocuous, which is a big deal. As well as some chip damage here, and of course the bad sheep is dead. Like, bad guy just threw, I feel like. The poison is significant, like I said. It's 725, but, like, it's not even going to kill the Mildred. And then if the Mildred ever connects again, it's going to heal to, like, full. And of course it's going to connect again. It's an enormous AoE, and you have a Shove Shark. Wait, are you really? Oh my god, really? You realize... Why did this happen? I mean, I know why it happened. That doesn't make this a good idea. So, the only positive of this setup is that because of the Contortio, so what does 2 keys get? Well, this Cassowary, which actually is enough to possibly kill this, because if you run away, the Mildred will die due to poison. Like, if you can stay away from it. And I don't think our hero can commit with the Mildred, because if they do, like, the Mildred won't be off cooldown, but if they moved it up or left it alone so that it could stay in range, the problem is then bad guy just kills it. Shove Shark here, I don't know what that's doing. So the Cassowary was kind of a big deal. Okay, we get the kill. I was about to say, you can't walk into range here and then let that live. You're going to have terrible things happen. But now our hero has a panic point advantage. I mean, they still have Shove Shark available to make these sort of plays. So what is bad guy's plan from here? Oddly enough, the Blondie is yet to heavy metal. No screaming for them. At this stage, it kind of feels as though bad guy needs to... Like, they gotta break their own obstacles, but... I don't know what their game plan is here. I don't think you can kill this. I don't know. Like, I appreciate the Oh my god. What the hell just... What is this? Dude, this is gonna be the thumbnail. I gotta timestamp this. This has got to be the thumbnail. Like, I have to use this. I was thinking about some of the other stuff, but, like, this is just absurd. What the hell is this? This is just ridiculous. Silly endgame is right. So I guess there wasn't a corn in this game, so that kind of answers my question about whether it was, like, sarcasm or not. Bad guy building their castle. But they are on a clock. Like, it is on them to make something happen. And our hero can kind of just stay out of range. Building a fence, you don't have to look at your neighbor's dumb face. Yep. So I do appreciate this, like, coming back in to a defensive position. I think, because what could happen is the Crushmore goes up, you break a block, and then the Gravedigger could have gone around north, where they were kind of protected. Bad guy taking pot shots on the Blondie to try and whittle it down. So we're probably going to boop heavy metal, or are we going to kill heavy metal? That pretty much locks bad guy out of the game. Why not? Another block. Just for the hell of it. And that's a Blondie on your heart with a panic point advantage. And all your stuff is powered down. This was actually kind of funny. Dude, so much effort and you still didn't kill the Shove Shark. It's barely half health. Get out of here. You know, I have to agree, that was, in fact, a very, very silly endgame. A very silly endgame. GG. Dude, that may have been one of the most ridiculous things I've seen. That was just a very, very stupid setup. Alright, so we've come full circle. We're back at Karst games. We'll look at one. I'm going to take another break, then we'll come back and do the other two. Alright, this may sting a little. Full Undead Army victory plus no Shove Shark. Trying to show off some lesser used Phobies. Let's see how it goes. So, since I don't know if Karst will listen to the earlier note, and I already forgot which game I said it afterwards. I know Karst is definitely in the business, so to speak, of trying to demonstrate the value of less appreciated Phobies. But, as I said earlier, and I'm reiterating it here, mostly because I know Karst goes and looks for their games, so I'll say it so they don't have to go hunt for the other point, because I forgot whose game it was after. You can definitely show, and it's not just a niche thing of, oh, well, we hit the perfect setup for this phobie, but I don't think that Karst winning with a given phobie necessarily changes anything. The reason I say that is to compare it to chess again, and to not use pawns versus queens, because pawns, somebody will make the argument that they, well, they could be a queen, but whatever. If you compare a queen to a rook, or you compare a queen to a bishop, the queen is just objectively better, right? Just literally does more things. It is strictly better. Unless you consider an attribute of the rook or the bishop that you get two and you only get one queen, in which case then there is a minor scenario where the others are better because you have a higher quantity, but that's debating and nitpicking. So, my point is that I think Karst winning with a bad phobie does not show that that phobie is good. In within the context of relative value. So if we're saying that Phobie A is better than Phobie B, Karst winning with Phobie B does not mean that it's better than Phobie A necessarily. It might be, and maybe Karst is demonstrating why, but it isn't necessarily that that Phobie is better. It's just that it is possible to win with it even against the better Phobie because the player's skill matters. So we get Puff coming out. I'll be honest. So we were laughing about Karst using Cowbell instead of Contortio. Contortio comes out here, but I don't understand the Numbskull. We'll see what happens. So far, we haven't seen... I mean, these are some off-the-beaten-path choices. As far as, like Creep is alright. I know some people swear by Gravedigger on this map. Daisy's acceptable. Numbskull's definitely very weird. But, like, the Pterodactyl and Murderwing clearly seem fine. As I said, Gravedigger, some people love it. We're getting noxious here as compared to what we saw earlier with Russell. Six Phobies to 5. Blanky. These all seem feasible. These are completely reasonable. The bad guy is encroaching on Karst's territory. We get the... I guess that, like, this is fine because you can, it body blocks or statue blocks out a stim hit, which is okay, but you probably wouldn't have stim hit the Gravedigger anyway. Like, I think what you're going to do here is kill with this, Pterodactyl onto the stim onto Puff, and then maybe Meatball, but you probably don't have enough damage to kill, so it's not worth risking that, so you just position such that you can threaten it next turn. The Gravedigger positioning may seem weird, but it's presumably to dodge the Fire Bomb, I guess. Alright, so we get the poison going down on Pterodactyl. Like I said earlier with Disease, I'm poison even more so. It's like, alright, you poison my res guy, I don't care. You do get some heart damage, and this is a lot of pressure on Karst's heart. But Karst has 16 keys left, like 11 available compared to the 11 keys total for Bad Guy. It looks like Bad Guy's going to commit the 11 to the Speedola team, looking to close this game out. Dead Noxious, possibly? Question mark? I mean, lava... Alright, it's just dead. Don't even need the lava. And we get the counter Gravedigger block. Alright, Karst is stabilizing here. And like I said, still 16 keys available. Goon. Gotta love the goon. Bad guys got to set up their push, and understandably so. Karst is kind of taking over the board, but we do get this killer Blom here. We might get a takedown on the... Nah, we probably can't get the Speedola, right? I guess it's not impossible, but it seems unlikely. Maybe it's more likely than you think. Oh, that guy's dead. That just neuters Bad Guy. Not bad. Not bad. Bad guy with another bomb onto the heart, but if you're not actually killing anything, it doesn't matter. That's the biggest thing, is all of these plays that bad guy had made did position them, put them in a position to win because of the heart damage. But Karst was able to appropriately use their heart health as a resource and stabilize the board. I'm a little surprised Karst was willing to give up the defensive position on the heart here. But you do get the kill, so it's really just Gravedigger and, Ha! That's actually sick. That's a great defense. It's the only tile available to the heart. I mean, I guess bad guy could crack the obstacle, but then that frees up the stim hits. Or not. Okay. So they claim the stim. Wait, what? I mean, I get it, but I don't love that one. Bad guy's just dead no matter what, right? Like, there's nothing they can do. Karst clearly doing the arithmetic to ensure that the Speedola, it's not going to kill the heart this turn off the stim. Speedola can't escape. It's literally trapped. That's actually hysterical. Well played, Karst. Well played. I'm going to put this one on the back of the power of Goon, because Goon is ridiculous. Goon is so good. I do like this map still, because it feels like there are multiple strategies available. You can just swing heart and take somebody down, hypothetically, but the terraform, it definitely mattered this game, on both sides. But GG, well played. Alright, chat, I'm going to take a quick break. Put a game on. I know this is the second break of the evening, so I'm sure everybody's crushed, but I'll put a game on. I'll be right back, and then we'll finish out the rest of the Karst games. Alright, chat, we're back. Let's close out the rest of these viewer games. We will once again have a clean spreadsheet, but this time not due to the patch. This time not due to the patch. Let's play more games this season. LOL. Alright, Karst. Third Karst game of the evening. Back on This Might Sting a Little. Where are the notes? Full Undead plus Shove Shark plus versus Phantom. You may not use this as evidence. The Phantom is fine, thank you. Fair. Alright, Karst. Fair. Look, I think there is a reality that may be this reality that Phantom is perfectly fine. And I'm not trolling here. It just depends on whether the devs want it to be. Like, let's put it this way. If the devs came out tomorrow and said that we hear the community's concerns about Phantom, but we feel that this is exactly how we want our game to function. Are they wrong? Like, would the game be better if Phantom was changed? Maybe, but it's only in the context of, like, just because, quote-unquote, everybody wants something or thinks something doesn't mean that it's correct. And even, is there an objectively correct for that? Because if we're talking about the play patterns, it's kind of like, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, obviously, but for example, if you played a first-person shooter, in most first-person shooters, rocket launchers and sniper rifles are the highest damage things in the game. Like, they are, because variety of reasons. For the sniper rifles, of course, it's, they're a high skill level thing, so if you can hit the shots, you get rewarded. The rocket launchers are like, well, it's a goddamn rocket launcher. If we nerf them to be weaker than the pistols or whatever, or we made them even more ridiculous or whatever, like, those are just design choices about the game, or even having them in the game is like a design choice. It clearly influences the way the rest of the game plays. Also, by the way, I just want to throw out the early Cerberus as I'm, waxing poetic about this other stuff. The other openers Karst has had seemed way more reasonable than turn is this? They did it last turn, so it would have been turn 3 Cerberus. But anyway, the point is that any of these decisions, if you decide that X is a pillar of your game, like this is how you want the game to be played, this is how you want the game to function and revolve around a particular thing, then that's your game. Now, we as the players or anybody else can look at it and go, it is better or worse, or we like it more or less. But that's one of the things that we haven't had whenever these discussions come up is what do the devs actually want? And to be honest, Phantom seems to run counter to a lot of what they've said and done in the past, namely having things not do stuff out of the spawn. Clearly, Phantom can't itself immediately, but it does allow other things to kind of break that. Where, like, there's a temporal component of you need to take time to get into the fight. And clearly maps from the past were not designed around it. I don't know. There's a lot of things going on. And if the devs said tomorrow that they think Phantom is perfectly fair and balanced, I wouldn't like the game. Like, I would like the game less, but I don't think I can disagree with them. Especially in light of the fact that, hypothetically, both players have Phantom. Now, I think there are a bunch of negatives to it. And like I said, I personally think the game would be worse, but I don't know that they're wrong. Because, like, if they decide that is one of the core things for their game, by the way, that's a Phantomed AWOL. If this doesn't die this turn, dude, it's not going to die this turn. There's no way you're killing this, sir. Why did you do this? Karst said they love it when I make that face, so I may or may not use that as a future emote or something, but, like, what the hell? You know what, Karst? No, I'm using this as an example as to why Phantom is fair. This is why Phantom is fair, is because 90% of the population is going to do shit like this. Phantom, fair and balanced. You heard it here first. Also, this timeout. Hold on. This play is sick. This play is absolutely sick. Like, we don't care about the AWOL. I mean, we cared about the AWOL 30 seconds ago. But this, the Goon challenge play into the Blom, that's hype. That's hype. Dude, what is happening in this game? Like, admittedly, Karst has a level advantage. It's a 3 to 4 level advantage, depending on which phobia we're talking about, but like, that matters, and especially against a player of Karst's caliber. I can understand bad guy, like, getting frustrated and just kind of throwing in the towel, but, like, that was a brutal sequence, those last couple of turns. Dude, Morty. Morty! Oh, bad guy. Revenge of the bad guy. The bad guy strikes back. But Karst may just have too big of an advantage at this stage. They also have 8 keys left, by the way. Hashtag just saying. I love the bad guy was thinking, oh, rusty Cerberus, and then he won't be able to do anything. Well, neither can you, because your whole board is dead. Lol. Notably, you can't disease the Morty, but Morty also has to come into stabbing range. Or Morty can just claim points, I guess. What do you think, chat? Should undead be able to leech life from the heart? That would probably break high five, but let's ignore high five for the moment. Would it really be unfair if Gravedigger was able to leech health from that set of attacks? Honestly, with the exception of high five, I wonder if it would be healthy for the game overall if undead could leech life from the heart, because then it would actively encourage more heart rush strategies. It would be somewhat problematic because, like, that's a lot of arithmetic to do in Arena to be like, oh, well, if they're on my heart and they're healing a certain percent, like, you care way more about the heals then, because it's like, do I need to defend? Can I just fight them? Can I do this? Can I do that? But, I mean, there's a lot of arithmetic anyway. I wonder if undead leeching from the heart, again, with the exception of high five, so maybe you make Heartbreaker or whatever the ability is, function, like, that prevents the heal from the heart, so it's like the exception. That would get very confusing, but anyway, GG. All right, we're already there. We're on Castaway. We're on our last game for this evening. Karst. I don't know why I said their name weird. Karst closing it out. All undead plus Shove Shark Army. Foul MVP because he was the best undead choice. I presume there's like a beauty or something. Dokuro, what's good? What's good? Like I said earlier, I'm wiped out, chat. I'm tired from yesterday. I am sleepy. My body woke me up at too early this morning. There's a spider on my wall. That's why I was staring over there. I could see it creeping up the wall. It is quite, in fact, the itsy-bitsy spider. Given its size, this thing is hauling ass. That guy is booking it. Despite the tiny size. Sorry, I know we were supposed to be paying attention to the game, but I find spiders fascinating. My computer sounds like it's trying to run a virus scan right now. It's not supposed to be. I don't know why it's doing that. It's a little concerning given I'm streaming. But anyway. Alright, so we got Foul. Foul onto Werewolf is kind of interesting. Notably, this Murder Wing is going to be vulnerable to a hit off the stem if bad guy wants to leave the phobie here. Oh, it didn't power down yet. Alright, so this had to be bait. I wasn't paying attention to the cooldowns, quite obviously. Alright, bad guy is now on. They're going for it. They are hot committed, one might say. Alright, it sounds like my PC stopped doing whatever it was doing. I have solid-state drives. I do have one old hard drive still in there. And it kind of... But, like, nothing is reading from that right now. So I don't understand why it was making the noise it was making. I hate computers. I really hate computers so much. 800 damage... 1,600 damage from that freaking, Wait, time out. What is happening? Why did the jaws pull back? So I don't think there's any way Karst could kill the Jaws without it getting... So, first of all, I don't think if you shove shark this foul that it'll go forward. I guess it's possible, but let's assume that it did. If you had Jaws in this empty space below the stem, you know, between the obstacle and werewolf, you would get 2,200 damage, we're going to round up, plus the stim hit from this. So another 1,000 and change. Actually, that would kill it. Never mind. That would kill it, so that's why they pulled it back. Assuming that the shove shark push works, which I don't know that it does, but you probably could have body blocked it in a different way? No, maybe not. That's kind of the offense stymied here. I mean, you can fly the Noxious out, but you just lost the 2 heavy hitters. 18 keys to 15 remaining. Panic point advantage Karst. A sizable margin now, 4-1. Looks like they stabilized. Looking like it's stabilized. Creep shove for reasons. Noxious still in Numbskull range. Like, it's possible Numbskull plus Daisy kills the Noxious. And that wouldn't be very vulnerable to counterattack. Okay, it doesn't kill it. That Noxious is definitely rethinking its life decisions, I can tell you that much. Okay, it is dead. We get the counter boop on Creep. Yeah, Karst is pretty much stabilized here. The Daisy did get a lot, or the Foul did get a lot of value here. Normally we see Fouls show up and it's just, like, it's just atrocious. Like, it doesn't do a damn thing. It actively is detrimental to the user's team. But here it's doing a pretty good job. That guy getting some counter kills, but, that Jaws is going to have to do a lot of work, and the Hematic, because Karst still has 18 keys left. Admittedly, the non-undead Phobies are putting in a lot of work. Has Jaws eaten anything? It ate something. What did the Jaws eat? I don't remember. It must have been like the Contortio or something. Didn't pterodactyls have beaks? I'm gonna have to look this up now. Like, because the way pterodactyl is structured, like its face, implies that it's all cartilage here. But didn't they have beaks? And like, what are... Like, are the beaks keratin? I'm pretty sure that the beaks fossilize, which I don't think cartilage can fossilize, right? Am I wrong about that? I'm tired, so maybe I'm thinking about it incorrectly. Oh, we got a primate number 9. Baby Snakey putting in work. Stapler removal. Going ham. And tickles. We'll let Karst slide on some of these. It's allowed. Yeah, Karst absolutely stabilized, crushing the offense like that. This is now multiple games that we've seen tonight, including multiple Karst games where players have tried to get very aggressive about things and were unable to close things out. Now, we can talk about whether that was Karst's particular defense, it was Phobie matchups, it was bad guy mistakes. There's also, of course, the discussion about map layout and whether these strategies are viable. Sometimes I do wonder, for a general Phobies perspective, like what the devs want. Do they actually want heart rushing, or heart pushes for that matter, to be a thing? I'm sure they don't mind if, like, oh, it's a tight game and then somebody goes, I've got it, I'll go for the heart. But a lot of the time, it seems like the heart pushes are an afterthought, and it's just, we don't want the heart to be invulnerable, and the only way to interact is with the panic points. So we'll just, we'll make it targetable, but it never seems to be positioned. It is absolutely the rarity. It is the exception and not the rule that the heart is in a position such that it is vulnerable to attack. And like reasonable attack. Now, Karst here took a beating, but it's still 4k health. Like, I do wonder, what if the hearts... We've talked a lot about increasing panic point damage to the heart, or having timers. What if the hearts just literally had 3,000 less health on every map? Maybe not every map. But, like, decrease the heart health on big map. But if Karst had 3,000 less health on this map, we obviously would have been robbed in a number of games of lots of comebacks and lots of really cool plays, because somebody's, like the game where somebody survived at 1 health, they'd be dead. We had tons of games tonight where people were sub 1,000 health. All those games, the comeback player would have lost. And it does exacerbate an issue with the leveling sequence, where somebody who is higher leveled, or just high level in general, now the heart issue comes up again. But would it be better overall if the hearts just had less health? Like, there's a lot of different ways to tackle the same sort of issue. Karst just dogpiling here, I guess. But there's a lot of different ways to tackle the issue of stalemates. And maybe lowering heart health is one of them. Because the games are going to end faster. It's not going to cause all games to end faster, because some of them are stalemating on even amounts of panic points, or it's an odd panic point map and just nobody wants to cap the middle, although that would still be even panic points. I don't know. I'm not sure. Just stuff I thought of while we were watching. Well, chat, that is once again the full queue completed. This time, more naturally, we'll say, than what we have seen in recent weeks, thanks to the patches breaking everything. We'll see if we get any changes or responses from the devs regarding whether it's Phantom or any of the other Attractor, any of the other Phobies that people keep complaining about. But that is the queue. So we can call it a little bit early. I thought we were going to have to go longer, because I thought we're not going to be able to get through Monster of the Week last night. But that's going to do it for this one. So we'll close out the video. If you're interested in getting your own games reviewed, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. That's where you'll also hear about tournaments first. Link for that is in the description, of course, by the like and subscribe button. You can get the link for the live stream and all kinds of other stuff. There's all kinds of fun things going on down there by the like and subscribe button. I don't know. Something like that. That's going to do it for this one. As always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.